Well, here we are at the season launch for the Robens 2022 range of tents. There's lots to see, so let's have a quick look around. Still in the range is this massive, lovely Klondike Grande tent. Really large teepee tent here. Let me just go around and have a look. It's got the it's got carpet in this one here, and it's got the Denali stove, complete with fireproof mat. Let me just open it up. Here, this actually sits on the outside there just to catch any ash if you're opening and closing it. Hot plate on the top here. You can open up. I'm trying to do this one-handed while holding the camera, so it's not easy. It's a hot plate there, which you can open up. So there's the stove going up all the way to the top and out the flue sleeve. As you can see inside this tent, it's a massive space. You've got the little zip up windows here with ventilation on, so you've got a good airflow that you can come all the way through. And of course it's poly cotton, so that sort of traditional camping feel to the tent. Let's go around and look at the junior version next door. Now this is the Klondike S. It's basically the little brother of the big one, and even though it's small, it does also have a stove flue pipe, stove flue sieve I should say, for putting a pipe through, and it's just basically a smaller version of the big tent. So as you come in here, you'll see it's a scaled down version, but it's still got the vents that open. You've still got the pole, you've still got the central pole, so really quick and easy to put up, and the cords to help open the vents to get airflow. So a lovely little teepee tent. Depending on the size of your family, of course, this may be perfectly adequate, or you may need to invest in something big at the top end of the range, like this Grande, that can accommodate potentially up to 10 people, although in reality you just use the space to have a bit more space for a fewer number of people. Let's move around to some of the other tents we've got here. Now this is the Prospector Shanty tent, and again this is another tent. It's a very traditional tent here. It's another poly cotton tent, so you've got that traditional canvas feel on this one. As you see, it in theory could take 6 people, but you probably wouldn't go camping and squeeze everyone in like that. Here we've got a couple of small lightweight foldable camp beds either side, which shows the sort of configuration you probably use this. Lots of storage pockets along the side here. No flue pipe sleeve in this one, so you wouldn't have it with the flue inside, with a wood burning stove inside the tent here. At the back here, you've got, it's showing here, you've got these other toggle up blinds and mesh on the window here, so you get a bit of airflow through the tent. Very traditional design, but with modern materials. So here we've got the pole that goes up there, fits in that pole, aluminium poles that slot together. So if you want a traditional sort of tent, but with modern materials that fold down small, that's certainly an option. And we get on to the larger Prospector Castle tent, and this one is very big, a massive tent. As you see, this one has got a stove in it already. This is the Kobuk stove, and you can see the way that goes through the stove sleeve here and comes out the top here. So this is really sort of all season camping here. It's just propped up a bit of wood in this display area because you can't actually peg the guy lines out as you would normally, but normally you'd have this coming down to create a nice little bit of shelter there for the rain to run off. At the front of the tent here, you've got the windows as well, with mesh, and at the back of the tent too, so you've got quite a big amount of airflow on here. Storage pockets on this one slightly higher up, and again another simple pole design, a pole at one end connected to a crossbeam, and a pole at the other end. At the top here you've got a hanging rail as well if you need to hang anything from there. So again, another very traditional tent. Now if you look here, you've actually got an area on the floor that you can actually unzip to place your stove actually on the ground, or you can get something like this Robens ground protector fire mat here. This is a Kobuk tent stove. We've got one of this stove, an older version of this stove, very similar to this design. It's a lovely stove. I really like this stove. One of the things that we like about this stove over the other one, the Denali stove, is just the little window. It can soot up, but it's easily clean, but you just see a bit of the fire within the tent. That warm glow of the fire is very nice. So let's continue round to have a look at another new tent. Now this one is different again here. Okay, so this is the new Yukon shelter, and as you see, it's a traditional tent with the front or the side that opens up like so. So you get down a little bit inside here, and it's just zipped up at the moment on here. So you can see you've got a huge fly screen on this tent here that you can roll up out the way. But basically you've got your living space inside with some storage pockets there, and then you've got this huge screen here, and then the shelter out the front here. And just come up here, here's the door rolled up, and what you can actually do is you can peg this door out to make another sort of top shelter as well. So you end up with a bit of an outdoor sheltered space and living arrangement inside. Let's just move further back so you can see. Here's another new tent for 2022, and that's this Robens Chinook Ursa. Now you might have seen the Robens Chinook Ursa on a previous video that I've done with its fully polycotton teepee tent that completely opens up. Well, this is the Robens Chinook Ursa PRS, and it's a polyester based fabric instead, so it's going to be lighter and probably even quicker to pitch. These tents are very, very quick to pitch with a centre pole in the middle and your snake frame on the front here. Like the other Chinook Ursa, the front completely opens up too, so you can have a nice sheltered seating area. Now, although this isn't a polycotton tent, you can still have a wood burning stove in this tent because it comes complete with a sleeve ready to put the stovepipe through. So you're getting pretty much the best of both worlds with this one. There's a few other little features, so let's get a closer look. And as we look inside this tent, you can see another little feature they got down here, and that's a little star map, star chart. So perfect for sitting out here and doing a bit of stargazing. As you come inside here, so he's got the carpet in the middle here. This carpet just velcros down so you can easily get it in, slide it in around the centre pole. Here's the aluminium centre pole that goes up. You just fit it at the top here. These cables here are just like that we see in the other Robens teepee, and that helps you control and open these vents on here. And at the top there, you can see that that's where your flue pipe would go, and you'd have your wood burning stove would be sat here. And one of the things you can do is you can get a fire mat to go on top of this, but you can also peel this iron sheet all the way back and unzip it as well if you'd rather have the stove directly on the floor. Rear vents at the bottom in here, so you've got good ventilation. If you're having a stove in the tent, you have to have good ventilation, so you've got ventilation at the bottom, ventilation at the front, and a very large door at the front that you can completely open up. Okay, so let's look here. We've got a number of tents, a number of accessories here. This is one of the Robens chairs, small chairs. It's so lightweight. This is the Pathfinder Light, really lightweight, packable chairs. You see they've got some larger ones here, the Observer and the Pilgrim. We've got chairs like this. We've got older models. They fold down to next to nothing. They are so lightweight, really handy. We've used them for camping, caravanning, picnics, days out. They fold down so small, so easy to carry and put around. Some of us in the family find them easier to go together than others. Sometimes some other people struggle, but once you learn how to put them together, you can get them up quite quickly. There's also some new additions this year as well, such as this sort of director's chair. Again, very lightweight, folds down small. I'm holding a camera at home, so I'm a little bit difficult to do, but yeah, you can see some new chairs there. I really rate the Robens chairs here. This is the Aero Yurt, which has been in the range for a few years. A massive inflatable yurt, no stove in there. And then here's one of the tents that we had a look at last year, from Robens. And again, different sort of family adventure tent, this one. Inside we go here. Now this is the Robens Eagle Rock 6+2 XP, and as you see here, you've got, I think it's technically a triple bedroom size, but you could easily put large mats like this in here for the double bedroom, and you've got two of those plus this extra one here that you can remove out if need be. And I think you can also remove one of these inners as well, modify the tent for your sort of requirements. We came through a side door. It's got a little shelter on here, but of course you've got the front shelter on here too as well. Okay, let's head over to the accessory area. I really you might tell I really like some of the Robens stuff. Here's some of the director's chairs as well, folding director's chairs they've got. Lots of sleeping bags. Again, we did the Icefall Pro review, you might have seen that as well. Really good. It feels like down, but it's not down. It's man-made material, very good. Small sorts of little bits and pieces, little tiny torches and headlights, rechargeables, lots of little camping gears. I just, you can tell, I just geek out on all this stuff. I mean, they've got a whole, if you're out into your adventure hiking, you want some really lightweight gear. Just look at all these different tent stakes and pegs that you can do. These are so light. If you're backpacking or bikepacking and need minimal weight, that says 13 grams. They are so light but strong as well. Some really nice stuff here. Look at that little Primacore hairbed as well. Again, very light, very small little pack size. Perfect if you need to put in a backpack somewhere. Various tarp pole kits. This is an extendable tarp pole kit we might have seen in one of our other videos we've done before, as well as the mats. Lots of sleeping bags in the ranges, and now in 2022 as well, if you want to stick with the Robens, you got a bivvy too. So I know our lad loves sleeping in bivvy bags, and that's quite a fair sized bivvy bag, but again, nice squishy small pack size. So if you're just backpacking, you don't need a tent, you can make do with just a bivvy, then that's going to save quite a bit of space and weight in your bag. Over the side of here, well, to meet the latest EU standards, coating's been changed, but also they've made lots of little tweaks to the design. So like the cooking Pro is easier to set up, and they've just taken a lot of feedback from campers and just continually refine some of the design on things here. So you've got a lot of your lightweight adventure items with these sort of small stoves, for example, that fold up small, don't take a lot of weight, very small little stoves, complete with cooking pots, cooking sets, even one that runs off twigs and things, through to more sort of traditional camping, your Dutch oven, your enamel sets here, the Bighorn 3-legged pan. We've got a Bighorn 3-legged pan and it is really good. We certainly like cooking like that. See some of our other videos. The bearing water heater as well, again we've done another video on that. This bearing water heater sits on top of the stove and goes around the flue pipe, and basically means you can have hot water straight in your tent. I noticed it's been refined, slightly different tap to the one we've got. That looks perhaps a little bit easier to turn when hot. So it's great to see how, you know, they get feedback from a lot of things that is used. I've met the guys who design this stuff as well. They're all campers and go out and they use this stuff. So feedback from other people, feedback from using it itself, just refines the design, tweaks it a little, but that works really well. I mean, it heats up the water really quickly, so you can have hot water running in your tent. Amazing. But yeah, loads of stuff here, really good stuff to look at. If you're into your camping gear, you'll really like this stuff. Let's just move around the corner here. So another thing as well, if you want to try, is the hammocks. Now last year Robens introduced a hammock, and it's got this underquilt as well. You can get as an extra, and it just clips on here. You might have seen we've used one of these before, not a Robens make, but we've used one of these before. But if you really want to get into hammock camping, they do now this complete kit. It's called the Trace Ultimate Hammock Set. So you get the hammock here, you've got the bug mesh, and you've got a tarp that goes over the top. So if you want to get into trying hammock camping, if you don't have a tent, you just take this with you. All you need is some trees to strap the hammock between. That's a good set. It all comes in one. Now it doesn't come with this. This is a mat in here. It shows you what it looks like. You put a lightweight mat, lightweight sim like this one here, the Air Impact from Robens. You put something like that in there, it takes a shape, gives you something to lie on, a bit of insulation as well. You get a sleeping bag in there, but again it cuts down on what you need to take in terms of a tent. And also come with a Robens tarp over the top there, so you're protected from the elements, and gives you a little bit of space underneath too. And then you sleep in there, obviously with the top coming up, and you sleep in there protected away from the rain and protected from the bugs. So that looks a good thing. This is certainly something I've done a little bit of hammock camping, not as much as I want. It's something I want to do with the canoes a little bit more, in places where you can paddle and then just camp on the side of the river, because you can put this sort of set into a big dry bag, keep it all dry when you're paddling, and then just strap this out, because often when you're canoeing, the sides of the waterways aren't necessarily flat, and often tree lined, and this sort of thing is perfect for that. And of course there's a whole bunch of various different types of adventure tents, lightweight tents. We've viewed some of these before in the past. Lots of things. If you don't need your big family tents, you want something smaller, you want to perhaps go off and do some activities on yourself or with kids, lots of options here. And just to finish up our quick tour of the 2022 Robens collection, we've got the Robens Green Cone PRS polyester as well, like some of the others. This is a very small teepee tent. You've got the pole here, very quick to pitch, and of course with it being polyester, is going to be lightweight and small pack size too. Ideal little thing if you've got a small family and just want to get away, maybe one or two kids as well. very much an adventure tent, very different thing to have on the campsite. It's smaller than the other new polycotton teepees that we've looked at, so it doesn't have a stove flue pipe. You wouldn't have any space in here for the stove flue, but you've got a sleeping area in there, and this front bit here is this extended porch. So you've got areas to put things, wet shoes, bags and various bits and pieces like that, ideal for weekend or adventure camping. So there we go, 2022 Robens collection. Lots of tents, lots of camping gear, lots of accessories. I really do like the stuff here. It's like a kid in a sweet shop. Lots of really great stuff there. So again, we'll try and follow up with a bit more details and reviews on our website. But if you like this, please give it a like, a thumbs up, and anything particularly you like or don't like, just let us know, leave in the comments below.